Hello there and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV. And these are the stories making headlines at this hour. In our top stories tonight, Parliament censures State Minister for Lands Persis Namuganza. Immigration immediately suspends use of phones by staff at Entebbe International Airport. Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba orders arrest of Mafumu Paul. And in sports, 8 qualify for the second edition of the Uganda National Tennis Championship 2023. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Mugalu Mohammed and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now we start in Parliament, where Parliament has censured State Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Princess Persis Namuganza, over derogatory remarks and disrespectful conduct. Now this follows a recommendation by an ad hoc committee that the minister be censured for her role in the Nagaru-Nakawa land allocation and contempt of Parliament. Henry Okrut reports that out of 356 members of Parliament who attended the Monday sitting, 348 voted in favor of a censure, 5 voted against, and 3 abstained.
I, Namuganza Persis Princess, swear in the name of the Almighty God.
This oath came with commitment to serve.
And when they get the corrupt and evidence is there, let them be brought to book, even if it's me. Because there has been a lot of corruption tendencies, but people are left.
These were words of Persis Namuganza shortly after officially assuming office as a call for duty, which the parliamentary motion of censure has cut short.
Lutaya Geoffrey. Right Honourable Speaker, I vote yes.
Over 300 members of parliament have voted to get Namuganza out of cabinet as State Minister for Housing. This follows the recommendations from a 7-member select committee led by Mbarara South Member of Parliament, Mwine Mpaka.
That the media interviews and statements made by Honourable Persis Namuganza Princess attacking the integrity of Parliament, its proceedings and resolutions were made outside Parliament and therefore not privileged, and she has no immunity derived from them. These amounted to contempt of Parliament.
The committee was selected to analyze evidence in the censure motion against Minister Namuganza. And these are some of the committee findings and the recommendations.
The committee, having found prima facie evidence to prove the allegations contained in the motion and supporting documents, prays that this report be adopted by the House and leads the House under Rule 109B of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament in the proceedings of censure against Honourable Namuganza Princess from the office of the Minister for State, Lands, Housing and Urban Development.
Members of Parliament agree to the recommendations.
I appeal to everybody, let us all be counted to vote against indiscipline. To vote against indiscipline. All members of Parliament, we are equal.
It is very ironical and very hypocritical for us to sit here and make laws and expect the citizens of this country to abide by those laws when we cannot abide by our simple rules of procedure.
Right Honourable Speaker, therefore I support the report that this single person be treated in a way that will not continue to taint our image.
To the legislators, this serves as a lesson to other position holders.
You have no capacity to be minister because a minister must be a person who has integrity, then who can advise also fellow MPs.
But out of 356 MPs who attended Monday's plenary sitting,
I, Leonie Odria, vote no.
5 voted no, while 3 abstained.
I don't know what abstentions would mean, but I'm not voting yes or no.
Moses Wariomo is Kagoma County Member of Parliament.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
He and others had reason for a position they took.
The motion has been carried that Honorable Namuganza passes be censured, and as required under Rule 109, Subrule 13 of our Rules of Procedure, I will inform the President accordingly within 24 hours.
How can we kill almost a whole day just debating personalities? Thirdly, there have been lots of conflict of interest in this matter. Therefore, I do not want to associate myself with issues that are ill-formed.
I was not convinced if I was to be a judge. I was not convinced because the things they were got from the medias, like WhatsApp.
The minister here, according to my own personal assessment, I don't think she has serious issues of abuse of office. But if you look at the issue of misconduct, there's nobody who is perfect.
Namuganza is faulted for what MPs say was her role in the Naguru-Nakawa land allocation and contempt of Parliament. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Thanks, Henry, for that report there. Now, the Immigration and Citizenship Department in the Ministry of Internal Affairs has, with immediate effect, suspended use of phones at Entebbe International Airport by staff members. Investigations will be conducted for cases of fraud and extortion at the airport, and actions shall be taken, although members of the public should report with clear evidence of sabotage and missed flights. Ivan Ka reports.
The Directorate of Immigration has resolved that all staff operating and handling clients at Entebbe International Airport desist from using phones, have access cards and dressed in labeled full uniforms.
Complete with the names embroidered on the shirts. The immigration uniform is made up of a white shirt and forest green trousers for men, and a white shirt and forest green skirt for ladies, although some ladies also put on trousers, but the color of those trousers should be forest green, whether at the airport, at any border, at immigration headquarters, should always be dressed as such.
Last week, there was a public outcry on misconduct of immigration officers operating at Entebbe International Airport for allegedly extorting money from travelers.
We also, however, acknowledge that some of these allegations are quite sensational. Some outright defamatory, as you know, in nature, and others merely memes and generalized, valid, wild accusations unworthy of any attention.
Those who might have missed flights due to avoidable circumstances are advised to report to immigration officers with evidence in order for action to be taken against errant officers.
Such as dates of travel. Tell us, when were you fleeced? When was your flight? At what time? At which desk? Which area of the airport? The airport is equipped with CCTV cameras so that it can give us the basis to begin investigations. And also flight numbers, among others, to come to us with these complaints. You can be very certain that once verified, action will be taken.
Meanwhile, more deployments of senior officers have been made at the airport to ensure transparency while serving travelers.
Airport to boost supervision of our staff and be readily available to listen to complaints. So anybody who has a complaint, who has a problem, we shall have senior staff at departures, and then we shall have also senior, more of them deployed at arrivals.
Members of the public are urged to use the available toll-free lines and customer services desks available at the airport for assistance. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Now, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has launched a virtual Prosecution Academy to improve service delivery among prosecutors. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Lady Justice Jean Frances Abodo, says the Academy equips prosecutors with prosecutorial skills, as we hear in this story.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and Evolve FILA Foundation for International Legal Assistance have launched a virtual prosecution academy to improve access to justice and building capacity of individuals and institutions, most especially in the criminal justice sector of Uganda.
The Office of the DPP has been in existence as an autonomous body since 1995. So we are making about 28 years. And it has no central place for training. Training has been done ad hoc. So it was a high time that we actually had a central place to do training, and we thought of having an academy.
The virtual academy, officiated by Philip Smith, the Development Director, British High Commission, on behalf of Ambassador Kate Ailey, will offer online prosecution cases to prosecutors and investigators. The Director of Public Prosecution, Lady Justice Jean Frances Abodo, cited that this academy will improve service delivery for the Office of the DPP and urged prosecutors to embrace the use of technology, since some criminals use it to commit cyber-related offences.
Tomorrow we are going to be doing training for 8 trainers who are going now to train the rest of the prosecutors. So even the investigators are going to benefit from this virtual academy. Instead of waiting, why not take advantage of technology that has come up and have a virtual one? So in case of you're saying that interference with and hacking and everything, and you have to expect that and prepare for it.
Abodo, however, called for government's intervention to address the existing challenges.
We have a structure which can take in 836 prosecutors. But as we speak now, we have only 336 prosecutors. But 3 years down the road, I'm left with 305 only. So people leave, people have died, and of course the challenges, other financial, which of course came with COVID.
The Development Director at the British High Commission, Philip Smith, says that this collaboration with the ODPP will increase networking on handling matters relating to rule of law and criminal justice.
So it's about sharing knowledge, it's about sharing information, and it's about creating that link between Ugandan and British prosecutors who are doing very similar jobs in very different locations.
The Office of the DPP Virtual Academy is an online platform that will offer legal induction courses and legal resource material for prosecutors. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Nabugude, UBC News.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robin Nabanja, has donated 10 million shillings to support completion of the Archdeacon's House at All Saints Kakumiro Church of Uganda. The donation was handed over by the Presidential Advisory Committee member on budget, Anne-Maria Nankabira, to spearhead church projects.
The construction of the Archdeacon's House at All Saints Kakumiro Church of Uganda has been supported by 10 million shillings, aimed at spearheading church projects. The 10 million donation from the Prime Minister was presented by the Presidential Advisory Committee member of budget, Anne-Maria Nankabilwa, at a confirmation ceremony at All Saints Kakumiro Church of Uganda.
She said she will still deliver more 10 million shillings for completion of the house, as she knows that construction and finishing is also always very expensive. She will contribute 10 million more to assist you towards the finishing touches of the house. She sent me to tell you to support and continue supporting government programs.
Reverend Paddy Irumba Elianza, the Archdeacon All Saints Church Kakumiro, said he has initiated projects for the church and needs more support.
Hello, bayingi abateyo itafari omubahereza nomba kristal
enyegesa eyahura enyikirize ikire.
For an archdeacon, it was in a very sorry state, It was an old building with a lot of cracks. So I caused an actually coronary council.
Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
It's coming to 17 minutes after 8 in the studios of UBC TV. We'll now take a short break, but we'll return with much more. Do stay with us.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Cabote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Cabote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Cabote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
*11. Keeping an eye on all your balance the old way. I got this. Yeah. Balance is... Yeah.
What is he up to now?
*11. Keeping an eye on all your balance with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to see all your balance in one place and in real time. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
I do miss you.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: in Tinda Stretcher Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. At Capital Shoppers, we offer you value for your money. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash hands with soap, it means clean hands for all. This is a message from the National Hand Washing Secretariat.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Warm welcome to those of you just joining us. On sign language, it is Mugalu Mohammed, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has advised universities and other higher institutions of learning to prioritize courses that will enable students to be learners, rather to be job creators rather than job seekers. Mr. Museveni also advised graduates to use skills acquired from universities to help develop their respective communities. This was in his speech read for him by the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, John Mulimba, at the 31st graduation of Islamic University in Uganda, held at the main campus in Mbale.
The Islamic University in Uganda has graduated 1,989 graduates in several qualifications at its 31st graduation. Among the graduates was State Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Persis Namuganza, who graduated with a diploma in law. President Museveni was represented by the State Minister for Regional Cooperation, John Mulimba, who applauded the university for embracing courses that enable students to be job creators.
The university must be aware of the legitimate goals and interests of society and design a curriculum that's best suited to serve those interests. For instance, we must be aware of the interests of the private sector, which is the biggest employer in the country. The private sector has high demand for doctors, accountants, entrepreneurs, science teachers, nurses, engineers, ICT experts, etc.
Museveni advised universities to invest more in technology and research for the development of the country.
I urge Islamic University in Uganda and other institutions of higher learning to prioritize teaching of courses that are relevant to the demands of the job market in the private sector. The Ugandan economy is modernizing and accelerating towards industrialization. Modernity means eliminating subsistence modes of production, which satisfy only the need for food, and replacing them with commercial agriculture, industries, services, and ICT.
Director, IUIU, Professor Ismail Jagenda says the university has over 100 courses based on innovation and creativity.
Our current strategic focus is the following. Number one, consolidating the academic gains. This involves continuous staff development, a focus on excellent teaching using blended techniques, as well as research and innovation by our staff and students.
Some of the graduates pledged to use the skills acquired to start their own enterprises.
I congratulate my wife, Rauda Nabada, for making it. She has managed to study a bachelor's degree in business studies. Thank you.
I have graduated today with the first.
Congratulations to the graduates out there. Now, police have issued a warning to all territorial commanders who charge victims seeking services from the Canine Department. Now, this follows public concerns that police officers charge for movement of sniffer dogs to scenes of crime. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga has urged the public to report any dog handler or station commander to the Police Professional Standards Unit for action.
The movement of sniffer dogs to scenes of crime is free of charge. There has been a tendency or a bad habit whereby you find the dog handlers would move on their own in private vehicles which are hired by people who are victimized through robberies, burglaries, and other related offenses, and end up paying very exorbitant prices or hiring vehicles at expensively to transport the dog handler and the dog to the scene of crime. So we have once again reminded our unit commanders that the responsibility of a dog handler is not to look for transport, to visit scenes of crime, but rather it's the responsibility of the station commanders. That is the OC station, the OCCID, and the DPC. Those ones are responsible for the movement of the dog handler and the police dog from the station to the scene of crime.
Police spokesperson Fred Enanga clarifying there in as far as canine dogs are concerned. Now, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has signed a memorandum of understanding with Sunbird AI leverage artificial intelligence systems to increase use of ICT services for Uganda's social and economic development. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, says the partnership will address traditional constraints of infrastructure while driving inclusion.
Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think and learn like humans. It involves the use of algorithms and computer systems to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance believes that partnership entered with Sunbird AI, an artificial intelligence startup, will encourage innovation.
We don't have some of this equipment or technologies or even the skills to do it. So what we have agreed to do is to partner with the entities that have the technologies, that have the know-how and skill to be able to run faster as government in digital transformation.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, says artificial intelligence has the potential to improve planning and real-time decision-making, which can strengthen the feedback loop between citizens and policymakers.
And similarly, when people send feedback to us, because we're developing a citizen interaction portal, when citizens send feedback to us in whatever language, we should be able to give them feedback in the language that they understand. So this system will be very important in ensuring that we all speak and understand each other on the same page.
Through this 5-year agreement, Sunbird AI will provide artificial intelligence-related advisory and consultancy services.
That it helps us leapfrog these traditional constraints of infrastructure like roads, like people have no access to literacy. Maybe they can't read or understand English. So what AI offers us is ways of leapfrogging. So instead of training them to learn English or to read books, what we're offering, for example, with this Sunbird Translate is that you can actually have whatever the ministers say translated into audio for them to hear.
Sunbird AI currently has a flagship project, the Sunbird Translate system, which is built through an open local language dataset of 25,000 sentences translated across 6 commonly spoken Ugandan languages.
To Butabika Hospital now, where the Executive Director, Butabika National Referral Mental Hospital, Dr. Juliet Naku, has urged the public to support mental illness patients as a joint effort at fighting illness among the population. The call comes at a time when Uganda and the rest of the world are recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. Naku emphasizes that every person is equally responsible to ensuring patients in their community fully recover. We have more in this story.
address stigma from the communities, thus the call for collective responsibility in supporting patients to recover from the various mental disorders.
So that you understand what is going on with your patient and what we are doing. That is very, very important. Please visit and let the doctors update you so that you understand what's going on with your patients. We also urge you to please provide some support to your patients.
With over 1,000 patients on admission, Butawika National Referral Mental Hospital has a 550-bed capacity, less than the adequate requirements. Thus, the call for more funding to increase the capacity and improve the welfare of the patients.
This financial year, we lobbied for more resources, particularly to help improve the welfare of our patients, like feeding and hygiene and those welfare issues. We raised this at the Ministry of Health, we raised this at Parliament.
After the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an increase in the number of patients and an increase in patients seeking medication.
At that time, we would average between 900 and 950 patients. Right now, we're averaging between 1,000 and 1,050.
Psychosocial support is important for one to recover from any mental distress, and when given attention, it improves the healing process. Marian Wumcha, UBC News.
To Mubende district now, where Minister for Lands Judith Nabakova has ordered for an immediate arrest of a one Mafumu Paul, whom she accuses of shunning directives barring him from forcefully evicting tenants in Mubende district. Nabakoba's return to Mubende district follows last week's directive by the Speaker of Parliament, Annette Nita Among, directing her ministry to visit the locust.
Last week, the Speaker of Parliament, Annette Among, tasked the Lands Minister, Judith Nabakoba, to visit Mubende district, following reports of wide evictions happening in the area.
On Thursday, I raised the matter of national importance on the floor of the Parliament about the land wrangles in Mubende.
And I want to thank the Honourable Minister for responding this fast. We did not even expect that she would be stepping in as soon as she has done.
Over the weekend, Minister Judith Nabakoba heeded to the directive by visiting the district.
3 things disturbing us: ignorance, corruption and greed. Those 3.
Mr. Nabakoba convened this land meeting that was dominated by outcries from residents as they all pinned one Mafumu Paul for threatening to evict them.
Mafumu Paul, this man is slippery. He causes a lot of mayhem around here, but he's not touched. People have registered a number of cases, but those cases are not investigated.
Local leaders, the RDC, members of parliament, land officials and security personnel all attended this meeting.
He came here, sprayed some people's food crops, some people's gardens, and he went untouched. When the police officers or the other authorities that are supposed to enforce his arrest or his interrogation are approached, they actually give them a deaf ear. We want this to stop. This must stop.
After listening to all the speakers, Minister Nabakoba laid fears in regards to eviction.
There are cases of malicious damage, but up to now, nobody has been arrested. We need action to be taken, because that is the only way we can restore the confidence of the people in an area. Somebody's garden is cut, then you hear people are just walking around saying nothing will be done to us. It should stop. We need action. Let them tell us what exactly happened. Then State House Anti-Corruption is going to investigate these issues in Mubende, but also investigate the conduct of the respective agencies. Because you've heard when people were submitting, making their submissions, they're talking about police, they're talking about lands ministry, they are talking about RDC's office, the number of offices that are being talked about.
As the community points at one Mafumu Paul as an unknown land claimant, Minister Nabakoba directed for his arrest.
Several calls I made to him, he never picked any, over 10 times.
Now RDC and OC and CID, I want Mafumu. Mafumu has a number of cases. That's why I'm insisting.
So many.
A number of cases. He's related into land disputes in this area. I hear now even Kayunga. We cannot allow that to continue. Who is he anyway? Who is he? You are just dilly-dallying. Others you run very fast to arrest. But this one, it is very difficult to get him. Yet you know even his number. Let him come and explain.
This is not the first time Mr. Nabakoba is visiting the district and particularly attending to this similar matter.
But what disappoints me is leaving instructions on what to be done, and you end up not getting even a report on what has so far been done by the agencies.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Naginya, says Kakumiro is ready to host the 37th Liberation Day in Kakumiro district. She has outlined improved road and an electricity network, improved household incomes and good health facilities. Premier Naginya was at Kakika grounds in Kakumiro district to inspect projects that will be commissioned by the President as part of the Liberation Day celebrations. We have more in this story.
In Kakumiro Town Council, this is Kakeka grounds, where the public, government officials and the diplomatic community will celebrate NRM Liberation Day on 26 January. The ground is leveled with men and women in uniform on parade rehearsing. Prime Minister Robina Naginya was supervising the ongoing preparations.
As you can see, this is where the function is going to be. The playground is already prepared for the same. Our people are already here, as you can see them here.
The Premier highlights improved household income, good road network, improved electricity coverage as some of the achievements by the NRM government in Bunyoro.
When you see the infrastructure, people's houses, for us here we don't have a grass-thatched house. I have not seen it. In the past 10 years, those grass houses used to be here, but now people are just competing to have mabati, colored mabati. And that now means that people have some money in their pockets.
Other achievements boasts of are the high literacy rate and improved health services in Kakumiro.
Kakumiro district has 24 sub-counties, including town councils. But as I talk now, we have 15 health center 3s at every sub-county, and 3 are being constructed at the same time. So we are remaining with only 4 which do not have but they also have health center 2s. And those are the new sub-counties that we have. To me, government has done a lot here in terms of health, despite a few hitches here and there, because we need to provide enough drugs, which I know we are handling, because the number of leakages that are happening, and we know.
In the company of the Premier was the Minister for Finance and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, and the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nyankabirwa Sentamu. Minister Kasaija says it is peace and security that has stood for him as one of the biggest achievements of NRM government as the country heads for Liberation Day.
The first achievement might be is security. Security of person, security of property. Abantu nibabyama kurunga taro omuntu wena akubatalibaniza, and you can see how people have taken really up the mission to make sure that they work hard.
Energy and Mineral Development Minister Nankabirwa boasts of democracy, women empowerment, and increased nationwide electricity coverage as what has made NRM government performed.
In 1986, Uganda was generating 100 megawatts, and out of that, I think we were consuming 80 megawatts. And we had a dam, a very old dam, which was constructed in 1954. This is the Narubale Chira Dam, only one dam. But now we are talking about so many dams which we have constructed. Some have not been commissioned, others have been commissioned. And the installed capacity now for Uganda is 1,371.8 megawatts. But this year we will see Karuma coming on board, and I think we will go up to 2,000.
The 37th Liberation Day will be celebrated in Kakumiro district on Thursday 26, and it's the day when President Museveni's NRA guerrilla group took over government in 1986. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kakumiro.
Thanks, Philip Aguta, for that report there. And of course, UBC TV will be there to give you everything as it will unfold on the 26th. To the courts of law now, where the High Court has ordered all parties to file written submission in the case filed by the Mufti of Uganda, Shah Shaban Mubaje Ramadan, and other Muslim leaders challenging the order passed by the Muwanga 2 Magistrates Court to halt all works by the Uganda Supreme Council. Meanwhile, the Kachira Magistrates Court released Semakula Sulait, alias Sema Properties, a cash bail of $6 million.
Mwanga 2 Court in Mengo recently suspended the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, and other leaders under Uganda Muslim Supreme Council from carrying out any duties in line with their offices until the decision of the case against them. In the suit, Haji Hassani Basajjabalaba and Haji Abdallah Chiyimba, accusing them of fraud and corruption. Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, and other leaders appealed the orders in High Court Civil Division. Court presided over by Judge Esther Nambayo has ordered all parties to file written submissions.
So we have said that Mr. Kenya just received January will not be in office, but doesn't stop you online, and I'll be glad to have a hard copy of it. The rejoinder to the submission is 1st of February. You are the lawyers who had filed for contempt of court. Okay. Did you notice that?
Court will resume on 3rd February 2023. Formation of the case.
As far as the orders that were issued by the learned Chief Magistrate of Mengo restraining the activities of the Uganda Muslim Council, those orders are still subsisting and they are still in place.
According to Mufti Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje affidavit in this case, the orders by the lower court were unconstitutional, as well as the laws governing Muslims. Lawyer Musa Kabega appeared for Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, while Sabra Mazaki and Sechanzi Lawrence presented Basajjabalaba defendants.
Bembanga nalondebwa nenzija mu Supreme Council mbadde omuweereza omulungi ye emyaka gye mmaze naawe emyaka 22 nga mbadde ndi naawe nga tompitangako musuubuzi kimaze kukwata olwaleero otandise kutandika creatingawo mbeera etisatisa abantu. Mufti His Eminence Mubaje kino nkikuddamu nkikugamba nze ndi mu Supreme Council gye ngenda okulwanirira ewa mukama wange gy'oyagala ntuuke nja kutuukayo nga Kiyimba.
Meanwhile, Chira Magistrates Court has released the Semakula Sulait, alias Sema Properties, on a cash bail of $5 million, and his 3 sureties $15 million non-cash.
But in the interim, I am, to avoid infringing upon the rights of the accused person, I am inclined to grant the accused person cash bail.
Prosecution informed court that investigations are still ongoing. Court will resume on 9th February 2023 for mention.
Confidence within the public and not to encourage anarchy and lawlessness. So it is the duty of the court not to encourage people to take the law into their hands. So in so doing, I am therefore inclined to order one prosecution to prosecute this matter expeditiously given the circumstances. The court is very ready and available to start hearing the trial of this matter as soon as possible. As justice delayed, is justice denied.
Semakula Sulait of Sema Properties allegedly in December last year evicted and damaged the properties of a 99-year-old Namazezalika. He was arrested by State House Anti-Corruption Unit together with other security operatives. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
will remain in the courts of law momentarily, and the High Court Criminal Division in Kampala has started hearing evidence against 8 people in the murder of Maria Naginya. 3 witnesses have testified, as we hear in this story.
The 8 accused persons in the alleged murder of Maria Naginya and driver Ronald Kitayimbo have reappeared before High Court Criminal Division in Kampala for hearing of the case. The accused include Koprian Kasolo, Johnson Lubega, Nasifu Kalyango, Hassan Kiseka, Sharifu Mpanaga, Shadati Katerega, and Raymond Okoli. Judge Isaac Mwata presided over the case, where 3 witnesses testified. Among the 3 witnesses are police officers who recorded statements from the accused and police doctors who examined the late Nagirinya's body. They pinned the accused for involvement in the murder of late Maria Naginya.
Police form 24, in respect of 2 suspects, Rebecca Johnson, Elias Eto, and Rebecca Johnson. Apart from the form, there is no other place where I'm sent.
Defense legal team cross-examined the witnesses.
Can you identify among those people the one called Kasono Koporiam, the one with the pants, the one with the glass?
Prosecution was represented by Principal State Anthony, Jonathan Muwaganya, and Timothy Emelit, while the accused were represented by Samuanga Jofran Serambala Julius.
So nayo lwaleero tuliddeko obujulizi obwo ne tuba twafunyidda n'ebiwandiiko biraga oba tewaliise police disclosures. So tubadde ready tugenze maaso era nenga abiri tujja kuba ready.
In court were relatives of the deceased, led by her father, Francis Anthony Lubowa. Court resumed on 20th February 2023 for further hearing. The accused allegedly kidnapped Maria Naginya, killed and dumped her body along Entebbe Express Highway on 28th August 2019. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Now, some civilians who supported the NRA rebels with livestock and food items in the 1981 to 1986 war that brought the NRM government to power on January the 26th, 1986, are seeking for compensation. 37 years later, our reporter Haruna Mtesa Sira has visited the districts of Luwero, Nakaseke, Wakiso and Nakasongola that partly constitute the Greater Luwero Triangle ahead of the commemoration of the NRA Liberation Day to be held in Kakumiro district. Take a watch.
On January 26, 1986, National Resistance Army guerrilla fighters captured power from Uganda National Liberation Army of Tito Kero Lutwa through protracted armed struggle of 5 years in the districts of Luwero Triangle. Museveni's NRA identified Luwero Triangle suitable for the war. 1. Its geographical location, environment, proximity to the capital Kampala. 2. Had a population of aggrieved Democratic Party supporters whose victory in 1980 elections had been reached by UP's government of Dr. Milton Obote. During the armed 5-year guerrilla war led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the NRA recruited civilians to work as spies and also provided food and shelter to NRA.
Nze nakwatagana n'abasajja aba Museveni nga ngenda mu kibuga ne mbaleta waliwo omwami nga bafandi owabayekera bamitanga afandi Katongole nga yava eri mu nkambi ya Black Bomba n'aleetanga n'antumanga ntuma amanda agateganga land mine nga ntuma sigala gwe bawanga abasirikale baabwe abayagalanga okunywa sigala nga ntuma omunnyo gwe beekozesanga mu kufumba n'okukola ki neŋŋenda e Kampala mpola nensobola okubireeta neera ne tufaako ekifo bwe twasisinkananga nembimuwa n'abitwala.
Memories of the war remain fresh on the minds of veterans who participated in the war, often when they wake up to see mass graves containing skulls of unsung heroes and civilians who aided information to NRA and also offered food and shelter.
Twasanga abasirikale lwabijogo ngolo batugambye nti eryakalembereza tuvaayo tuva musingo tukomawo ne tusanga abasirikale lwabijogo bayitawo kiwoko ne batukwamu ne batugaba bakwata buli muki buli mukazi yenna ne tuddira enkondwe z'ebitooke ebivundu twalina mu kayinja mwe twali ne tubyesiiga fenna ne weesiiga n'eri wansi oli bwe yakutuukanga koga yiko mgonjwa kisununwa mgonjwa kisununwa ne bakwandira amalusu ne wabaawo abavubuka abamu be twayitanga abayusi ne batufukira omusulo ne bajjayo obusolo ne batufukira omusulo olwo batukutte batuwambye batufukira omusulo tulwa bijogo kiwoko.
It's believed 500,000 people died in this war and over 70,000 skulls were collected and buried in mass graves that are located at headquarters of sub-counties spread across the vast Luweero Triangle.
Bana abasajja ba Museveni ne balumba Kakiri. Kati bwe balumba Kakiri batandika ojjikuba ku saa 11 eze ng'obudde bukya. Kati bamala okukuba Kakiri bakomawo ndoza ssaawa zaalinga oba 6 ku 5 nga tulaba bakomyewo eno e Masuuliita bava e Kakiri. Kati bwe batuuka e Masuuliita tuba tuli awo enkeera waalwo bannanga abasajja ne batulumba e Masuuliita n'abayekera nabo ne bagumba ku kitoogo awo ky'Eddambwe ne bakuba abasajja bo tebabazzeeyo Kakiri naye nga abasajja tebakkiriza. Bannanga abasajja ne batabukira awo battirawo bambi nnyo n'abaana awo battirawo abaana bangi nnyo ab'oludda lw'ene wa Museveni.
But as you go by, many sites have been abandoned, colonized by bushes, others in a solo state. Residents here say government owns an explanation to families of those who lost their dear ones in the war for failing to allocate funds to renovate their graveyards.
Mulaba bagamba yifa abantu bandibadde bafiibwako abantu bandibadde bebayamba naye ate nolanga bagize ekiti bayamba abantu bangi nnyo bafiirwa ebyabwe abawaayo ente zaabwe mu lutalo abawaayo emmere abawaayo ebyokuyamba byonna mu lutalo naye abantu abasinga tebafiiriddwako.
Museveni jukira we walwanira jukira ndulana gye walimu jukira ewaomwami Lyeza jukira akatundu ke walingamu n'abantu be wajjamu n'abantu abafiira mu ntalo bajjukirire ddala nga nayo mwennyini watambuliranga mu ffe era nga tewali asobola kuloopa tujjukire nga ffe abeekalagala ak'empwedde.
At Katikamu Sub-County and Semuto Town Council, constructed monuments of unsung heroes still possesses fresh memories of the war. At Lukomera Sub-County in Luweero District, I met Abdul Katende, a veteran of the National Resistance Army Bush War. Katende Abdul holds a contrary view about celebrating NRA Liberation Day, given the levels of poverty and poor service delivery in cradle land of NRM Bush War.
Twagala otukolera ekigambo ky'enguudo kituyisiza ddala bubi nnyo. Owulira weewaawo tolina nnyo bingi by'otukoledde naye ate tukolere ku nguudo kulabike nga naffe tudda kubanga bw'obanga owulira era nga tuli ku leediyo.
The majority of civilian veterans have not received any support and government officials blocked communication with the relevant authorities.
Era nze mwannyinaze bamutta bamusibye bwe bati akandooya. Nkubadde yafanga otawo terunnaggwa bambi Museveni yandituyambye. Nze omusajja oyo tumwine oyo yakafa bambi Mukama amuwe ekiwummula eky'emirembe. Omusajja oyo tumwine era singa abaddewo amanyi bulungi nnyo nange mumanyi ffe twabafumbiranga emmere abo abasajja abo.
Although it's not possible to compensate everybody, the government should have constructed city schools and equip health centers with drugs. The Ministry for Luweero Triangle should review and register new applicants for compensations, coordinate, monitor, and supervise projects targeting former National Resistance Army fighters in Luweero Triangle. Mutesa Sira Haruna reporting for UBS News in Luweero.
Board members of Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, UBTEB, have resolved to formulate research questions and management of cybersecurity in examination management. The Executive Secretary, UBTEB, Onesmus Oyesije, asked government to support them with examination materials to enhance quality during assessment.
Board members of Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board are formulating research questions and finding more solutions to examination management. The Executive Secretary, UBTEB, Onesmus Oyesije, highlighted a challenge of materials used in training.
That type of training is expensive. We are saying we must go practical, both in training and assessment, but the moment you move, it requires a lot of resources. People must use resources, must use materials. You can't say that you are going to make a door, you must buy timber. If you are going to make a metallic door, you must buy steel. Every activity you carry out requires money. So it is very expensive, and both even for assessment and training institutions. But as I indicated, of course, we have to discuss. One of the resolutions we have to come out is to start looking at innovations, how we can handle this without compromising.
Onesmus says they are in the process of reviewing all policy documents and monitoring of industrial training specific programs, as well as developing a new website.
So to be prudent, for us, we have decided that in the long run, we are going to put our assessors closer to students. That is the practical you can do it. The issue of integrity takes time. But also, currently what we are doing is that we also cross-check. For example, if somebody, that continuous part of it, wants to find out what you did. And introducing things like logbooks, evidence of participation in certain activities must be there. But at the end of it all, our assessors must be closer to monitor these training institutions.
The technical staff is expected to visit the world of work and decide views of their mandate. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello, is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
Sports news now, and police in Ginger City have arrested 8 Arsenal fans for celebrating the club's win against Manchester United in the English Premier League match that was played last evening. The fans donned red Arsenal jerseys and travelled atop in a convoy of 5 vehicles while chanting and celebrating with a mock trophy. These were intercepted and bundled onto a police truck. They were later charged with a public order offence. Police have previously stated that anybody intending to make a procession should seek clearance. Arsenal and Manchester United have a historical rivalry amongst their supporters all over the world. In Sunday's match, Arsenal scored a dramatic last-minute goal to win 3-2. The result gave the Gunners a 5-point cushion at the top of the table.
Samla Afrika ikana. Samla Afrika ikana. Samla Bidolwana ikana.
Afande, you are doing wrong. Don't beat someone. Afande.
Have you seen what you have done? Have you seen what you have done? First wait, be open. You pick your canister.
And that story brings us to the end of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Mogalu Mohammed, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night and see you tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you